All right, so what you're looking at here is my mobile platform page here. And yesterday I showed you, on the desktop, but I wanted to show you the mobile site. And as you see here, pretty much everything's the same. I wanted to keep it, like I said in the last episode, super light, super easy, really clear on, the CTAs or the call to actions. But what I really want to do right now, what I didn't do last episode, is do a quick demo. And what I want to demo is, I want to demo the TRMYN Reality Master Now AI feature. So I'm going to go there. And as you can see here, I trained it a little bit yesterday, and the greeting message is, what's up? TRMYN Reality Master Now's AI helper. I'm still in training, but I can provide some information about Tremayne, which is me. Feel free to ask away. So I'm going to ask something here. Tell me a little bit about Tremayne. Let's see. Okay, so let's see what it says. Sure. Oh, wow. Okay. So it gives a little background here. Tremayne Tatem goes answering the Okay. The only thing I'm gonna have to change here is, this is really long. I would like it to be a little bit more conversational. Okay, then it asks us for how can we get in contact. So I'll put my name in there, which is good because we always want to collect people's information. I'm gonna ask, tell me about his vlog. Unique, authentic, oh, then it just goes in there. Okay, so I like that it's responding, but the thing for me is it's just way too long. So I'm gonna have to train a little bit more to ask more, be more conversational rather than sending out blocks of text like that. Yeah, because I'm actually doing this in real time with you, so we're going through this together. So yeah, so it's cool that it's trained on very high level stuff about myself and the vlog and the platform. But the thing I'm gonna have to go back and train it to do is to be more conversational than like these big blocks of text, because that can turn people away really fast because people don't read unless they're super interested. But anyway, thanks for joining me on this demo. Let me know if there's any feedback or any questions that you have about this and like how I train it. Like I'm actually, and let me just add this one last thing. What I'm training it with, I'm training it with insights about me. I did a frequently asked questions document. And then also what it's going to be able to do is going to be able to tell you about every single episode. And you can ask questions about any single episode. But I'm not there yet, but that's where it's going. It's going to be, you'll be able to jump on here and ask questions about the episode that you just watched. So it's going to be very interactive. When I showed you the chatbot, turning myself into a chatbot, the reason why I showed you that is just to really piggyback on this idea of leverage identity that I talked about in last episode. Because what that's able to do is it's able to answer people's questions about me, about the platform, about the businesses that I'm working on, even down to the details of the episodes. That allows me to focus on higher level thinking, or the conversations that I'm having with people are higher level, are more strategic, rather than like the tactical small talk. You kind of get right into the strategy and get into like more high level thinking, which ultimately makes you more productive. And that's another thing. It's just like, as I start stacking these different tools on top of each other, you start to see your productivity goes from 10x, 25x, 50x, 100x. And you just keep stacking it. And over time, I mean, sky's the limit. So I'm glad I was able to show you just a small beginning seed of how I'm growing this platform. Somebody's out there listening to what I just said about turning yourself into a chatbot and probably saying to themselves, Trey, I would never turn myself into a chatbot or trust, AI to replicate myself. I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious. If that's you, why wouldn't you turn yourself into a chatbot if you can, duplicate your efforts? I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts on that. I'm able to, outsource some of the, the small talk things to the chatbot. What it allows me to really do when I'm documenting this process is to be able to share more of my vision, not in a static way, but like you're literally seeing it unfold. You're inside of the vision as you're watching this. So I'm able to share more of it, or more expansive, because you have a baseline on who I am and what I stand for. And the chatbot allows you to kind of interact with it in that way to kind of get to that. And then the other piece of it that's not really spoken much about is vulnerability. I'm able to be more vulnerable with you as well, because I'm able to share things with you that I might not share, or might not come up, which makes this documentation a lot more, accessible and relatable, because I'm able to be vulnerable. I'm able to, tell you about the times when, like currently right now, we have a deal that is supposed to be on the table, and we're wrestling right now with the other CEO of the company, and it's very weird. Let's put it that way. It's very, we're trying to figure some things out. But anyway, I'm able to be vulnerable with you, because there is that baseline of factual information that you may have, access to through the chatbot, that you'll have access to through the chatbot. And it allows me to avoid from just, trying to look for that, again, that viral moment. And there, I'm not against viral moments, and there's a place for viral moments, but being able to share my vision, or allowing you to share in the vision, and allowing you to share into my vulnerabilities, is the thing that makes this unique, this different. And I know I gave you a lot of V's: viral, vulnerability, and vision. So yeah, that's it. I'm here at the park. You see the kids are running around. One of the kids splattered me with water. I guess they're having a water fight. But yeah, just getting some sun out here, and just resetting a lot of things right now. Just being calm. My main objective is to build trust and goodwill with myself, my family, my community, the market, industries, institutions, as fast as possible. And as much as I can offload some of that work to automation or AI agents, I'm going to do that. Because that's the game, that's the bigger game that we're playing here. Is like, as trust, and I talk about this in other episodes, as trust is eroding, as trust, people can barely trust themselves, and trust themselves or family members. Like, trust is eroding. And to be a person that has integrity and is trustworthy, is worthy of trust, is going to be it's going to be a premium. Not just the fact to make money. That's the easy part. The part of building trust and integrity is the difficult part. Okay, I'll let that go past really quick. But yeah, building trust and You know, that's the game that's being played right now, that I'm playing right now, and it's a long-term game, and it's sometimes it lacks these little short-term wins. So you have to savor and appreciate the tiny wins. Like, so for instance, this morning I was at the coffee shop and I went to go pay for my coffee, and the barista told me that, hey, the guy that you were talking to just paid for your coffee. You don't have to pay for your coffee today. And I've done this for people, so I get it, but I rarely have that done to me. So I could have just, like moved on and just not think anything about it. But I took some time to really savor that gesture, because I've known this guy maybe a couple months. I don't know him too well, but our rapport always seems to be genuine. Our rapport seems to be like, I listen to him when he has some issues that he goes through, but I'm never thinking about getting anything from him in return. That's not why, I started talking to him. But to this morning, to have that, it meant so much. It meant so much. And it's like, when you're going through things like we have a deal right now that's on the table that we're trying to hold together, we're still trying to figure it out. To have that little small gesture, it's like you have to magnify. And it was only like $5. It was only $5. It was only $5. So you have to like magnify that to make that bigger than the deal that's on the table. That's probably 100 times that, maybe more. Now I'm thinking about it, 100 to 500 times that. You have to act the same in both ways. And I think that's the test. Like, how am I responding? Right? How am I responding? Am I acting the same? You have to act. You have to just appreciate everything. And sorry to go on the rant about outsourcing to the chatbot, but there's a lot to it. There's a philosophical layer to it that we're discussing now, but then there's a practical, like, okay, I'm going to write down all the frequently asked questions that I get. I'm going to upload every single transcript of my YouTube videos, and I'm going to allow this thing to be my representative, or my first point of contact when people want to learn about me or the platform and the things that we're going to do within the platform. It's going to be a point of contact. I mean, so there is that practical component, but philosophically speaking, that's the new value that I want to unlock, is being able to build trust and goodwill with a lot of speed. So, chew on that for a little bit. If you want to go deeper on why I continue to talk about how trust is eroding, I'm going to source where I'm getting that from. So there was a study called the Edelman Trust Barometer in 2022. You can, if you want to take some time to Google it, go ahead. But what they did was they studied 22 years of trust, and they started in 2001, where there was a rising influence in NGOs, which are nonprofits. They looked at the fall of the celebrity CEO, and it just goes on and on. And it goes into like how trust was built, like how trust shifted from authorities to peers in 2005. People trusted business more than government and media, and it just goes through the years. Let me see. Trust is essential to innovation, but in 2022, this is when the start of the cycle of distrust started, and this is right after the pandemic. Like, so during the pandemic,
trust, confidence, and ethics. That's when, you know, after the pandemic, and it got to the point where most people trusted business, and now we're in this cycle, according to this study, of distrust. And it just goes in more detail. Trust declines for government and media. Business still only trusted institution. So if you're a business person out there, business is the only trusted institution right now. Business is the only trusted institution. So that that alone. See, look at here. I'll explain my thought. As you see here, you see business, NGOs like or nonprofits, government. People aren't trusting the media. So the hierarchy of trust exists in business. So business now takes on a different, more than a transactional nature or attribute of business. Is as a business person, as a CEO, as a leader, your number one primary job is to create trust. That's a skill. Create trust. That's why I suggest vlogging. Because you can go as granular and detailed into your life and your business life as possible. Um, so so this is, let me pull it back up for you again. If you're interested to go deeper, so here it goes. The world is facing a trust crisis. So if you want to go deeper into why I continue to talk about trust eroding, why I'm doing this vlog, and even though I don't want to do this vlog, I'm a very private person. I prefer to be, in the backdrop, in the background. And I've been that for many years, and I've done, working behind the scenes for some amazing CEOs and some people in business that if I mention their name, you're like, oh wow. But I've always been behind the scenes, but I know that in order for me to build the vision and what I have in mind, which I shared with you with my flow charts and everything, I shared a piece of it with you. Uh, I know this is the cornerstone, building trust.
Oh, I'm not just turning myself into a chatbot for the sake of just turning myself into a chatbot because AI is cool and sexy. It's the thing to talk about. No, that's not the reason why. The reason why is to build trust. That's it. It's to free myself up to be able to build and generate so much trust, first within myself, to build so much trust that the speed of transaction, the speed of transformation increases exponentially. That's the purpose. That's the purpose. So I'm heading home. I'm done for the day. If you made it this far in this video, take a minute to hit subscribe. You might as well do it. You made it this far, because you never know what's going to happen next episode. Peace.